Hello friends, and welcome to another painting by myself. My name is Corey with the Painted Peacock, and this is a paint party demo. I was asked to do an under the sea theme with jellyfish. So we're starting by creating our focal point where the sun is shining through to the ocean bottom. I just started with blue and kept adding white as I kept nearing the center where the sun is going to be. Working here with perspective, anything far away is considerably smaller, and as we get closer to where you're viewing from, the jellyfish get larger. I wanted us to be kind of swimming up out of a cave or a cavern, and so I've added the black to indicate that that's what's happening. We're starting with our jellyfish. I knew I wanted one of my jellyfish at least to be tilted away a little bit so you could see where the tentacles are attached to the bottom of the jellyfish. Now I knew that this company was going to send color kits to their employees, and so I wanted to keep my colors as limited as possible but would mix well because the client mentioned that they wanted the jellyfish to be nice and colorful. And so I started something, and then I realized I hated it, whited it out, and we're trying again by adding a little more blue back in there. I wanted to be able to do that jellyfish translucent dome, and it wasn't going well. When I'm preparing these demos, I am literally learning as I go. I find it's the best way to figure things out. That way I'm working with the actual medium and solving problems on the way. I did know I wanted that little scalloped edge because my jellyfish are super fancy. They have a party to go to. I also wanted them to be really bright. And so here I am trying to get that brightness by mixing yellows and magentas, trying to get oranges. The struggle was pretty real. Because this is a darker portion of the canvas, I did use white to essentially cut out the shapes I wanted because I want my colors to be bright and vibrant. And so I'm just doing the best I can and praying for a miracle. And again, we're cutting out those shapes. I've seen many jellyfish that have a larger set of tentacles in the middle, which are kind of this flowy, frilly something or other. I don't know the purpose of it, but they're working those frills, and so trying to do that here. We're going with yellow on top of the white for those thinner tentacles because I want it to pop and be bright. And my little blow dryer hiding on the side because nothing dries fast enough for me. Decided to add a little more seaweed, which is literally just squiggly lines. Things looked a little bare, so I decided to add a couple schools of fish, which is literally me laying my brush down, picking it up, and putting a little V at the back. Ta-da, it was fish. We added a little bubble, and here we are. Now, when I actually taught the class, someone also mentioned in there, don't jellyfish have that clear dome? And I said, yes. And then in my head, it clicked. I think I know how to do this. And so I went back to my demo and I whited it out again to try to do that clear dome. I did paint the white a little higher so that way I could get the clear dome on top and the colored dome on the inside. By putting that blue in the top part of the dome, I'm essentially putting water back into the dome of the jellyfish. I wanted my inside to be very bright, and so that's why I went with the yellow. And then orange along that scalloped edge, and I eventually end up adding magenta along that scalloped edge as well. And taking that same magenta and just doing a hint of color along the edge of that clear dome. It worked like magic. I was over the moon. And so just a few corrections, some new bubbles that I painted over, and here we are. I am much happier with this rendition of my jellyfish under the sea. We had a great time. Thanks for joining me.